bad day to be a steel barrel, that's for sure. Good morning. How's it going? I hope you're well. My name's Lou. This is the Rural World. If you've been here before, thanks for stopping back. If you're brand new, thanks for clicking. So today I'm going to be helping out a good friend of mine. This gentleman started up a habitat management company probably within the last 3 to 4 years, and basically he'll do anything conservation related. That could be anything from improving your forest to warm season grass plantings, prairie management, you name it. If a landowner wants to improve his land for hunting, for timber production, or they're just trying to improve their land, that's what they do. So this gentleman and I used to work together for over 20 years in the natural resource field, so that's how I got to know him. So he asked me a while ago if I was interested in running this machine, and if it has a seat and a motor, I'm interested. So I've done some forestry mulching in the past with both machines like this, a compact track loader with a forestry mulcher mounted, and then I've actually spent a little bit of time in a purpose-built forestry mulching machine, and big difference between one of these and a purpose-built machine. But for right now, we got this one, and it's a rental machine, and we're going to do the best we can with it. This will be my second full day here. The first day, the machine had some issues, so we had to call the company, and they came out and fixed it. So got that straightened around. So yesterday, I was in here pretty much all day, and probably got an acre and a half done. And it doesn't sound like much, but when you're dealing with as thick cover as this is, it's pretty tough to make any time. So here's all my buddies that have been hanging out with me the last couple days are showing up over here now. If you can see them, two does and their fawn. They've been watching me mulch for the last couple days here, so they just kind of hang out, and when I stopped for lunch the other day, they come over and said howdy. So this particular piece of property that I'm standing on now is, I think it's around 68 acres, something like that. And the gentleman that purchased this land, I think he purchased it within the last 5 years. So he's basically just trying to improve his land. And this particular section of the property that we're standing on is about 8 acres that was a clear cut, probably within the last 10 years, I'd say, judging by the growth of all the invasives and early successional trees that are coming up. There was obviously some big timber in here. There's several stumps like this and some quite a bit bigger. So whenever they did cut it, they were concentrating on the money trees. You can see there's a couple stragglers that they left that probably weren't worth anything at the time, so that's why they were left standing. Unfortunately, what happens if you have invasive trees, plant species, anything in the understory that is just kind of laying there dormant, waiting for their chance to shoot up, and when a tree falls naturally, or if one is cut down, that opens up sunlight to the forest floor, and that's when stuff like this right here takes off. So this is buckthorn, and buckthorn is an invasive woody species that basically will take over, and that's probably 85% of this section is buckthorn. You can see it's growing in this stump right here. It's prolific, and it has no trouble taking over a whole forest setting. So basically the goal here with this machine is we're going to go ahead and mulch all the invasives out of this 8-acre section of the property. After the mulching is complete, they'll come in and do a herbicide application. Unfortunately, with invasives, it's an ongoing battle. Once they get a foothold, it's just a matter of when they're coming back. This section, the invasives have gotten so bad that really the only option right now is mechanical control, which we're doing with this machine here. Then you'll come in with a herbicide application, and hopefully in the future you can maintain it and keep these invasives at bay as best you can with herbicide or cutting. Probably herbicide is going to be the best route to go. So anyways, that's what we're doing. So I'm going to keep running this thing and get as much done as I can. Let me get moving with this machine, and we'll talk to you later. Well, I'll give you guys a little cabin view of the forestry mulcher. Once you get in the thick of things, you can't hardly see anything. You just kind of point it and hope for the best. Hitting these stumps from the old clear cut is the worst part, because you can't see them in there, and a lot of them are still hard enough where it stops it. Some of them are rotten, but a lot of them aren't. So you can't really make a lot of good time in here. Just trying to establish like little mines and then do little pieces parts. So like I'm gonna go through this section here and then we'll start working on this. Just trying to divide it into little sections, I guess. I don't know if that's the best way to do it or not, but it's the way I'm doing it. And here we go, into the jungle. Looks like a good spot to come out. There's a stump. That's a big one. Yeah, you can't see them. So you feel them, hit them, it stops the machine. There's another one. There's a whole bunch of them right there. So guess this wasn't a good spot to come out on. rough. Here's the business end of the forestry mulcher. Each one of these teeth have a carbide tip on them, and they hold up really well. This particular spot doesn't have a lot of rocks in it, but I'm definitely hitting all kinds of debris. It's a bad day to be a steel barrel, that's for sure. The forestry mulcher found that. This area is so thick with all these invasives, you can't see anything. Even though it tore the heck out of this barrel, I looked at the teeth, you can't even see a mark on them. Those carbide teeth are very well constructed. I would imagine it was left over from whoever did this timbering in here years ago. They must have been too lazy to pull the barrel out. They probably were using it for fuel or something, for machine or who knows what, but it says lantern fuel on it. I'll make sure we get it out of here. Here's what we're up against. So you're looking at that, super dense, all kinds of buckthorn, which, like I said, is the primary invasive on this whole site. So basically, I just point the machine in and hope for the best. There's an old white oak that got left behind. Someday that'll be a great big tree, if it manages to stay up. Right now it looks pretty healthy. Yeah, when you're in the machine coming through here, you literally can't see anything. You're just engulfed in a tunnel of green. You can see how thick it is. There's very little to no sunlight hitting the forest floor once all these invasives take off, and then they'll never let another species get a hold of anything. It'll just be a monoculture of this stuff. Old Mr. Buckthorn. You can see that machine does a nice job. You go in and you back drag over it a couple times, it'll mulch it up super fine. And Well, I'm making a little bit of progress. Probably got about, I don't know, I'd say maybe 2.5 acres total done now out of the 8 that we need to do. So when it's this thick, it's a slow go. The machine can only go so fast before it had enough. So, but we're getting there. It looks a little rough right now, and this is basically just one pass over with a little bit of back dragging, but if you go over it multiple times, you can get it to mulch up, and then all that debris will rot in the ground pretty quick. So after the whole site is cleared, we'll probably come back through, see how much time we got, dress it up a little bit, and then my buddy will bring in his crew. They'll put that herbicide application on that I was talking about, try to regain control of this site. Once that happens, I don't know what the long-term plans are for this landowner. If they want this to look super nice, we could bring that machine back in, or another machine, and go over this thing and make it look like a park. It would just be fine mulch. So I don't think that's their goal right now. I think they just wanted to regain control of this site, get the invasives under control, and then see where they're at after that. But so with all that said, I want to thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. I got to get back to this machine here. It's a rental. Time's a wasting. If you got any questions on any of the stuff I talked about in this video, or any of my videos for that matter, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I'll get it for you. So until the next time, take care.